Football going first. This beautiful meal.
Good morning. It is 4:07. My house is asleep. I just fed my daughter and she's back to sleeping now, so she should be sleeping until like 6:30, give or take. So I think that I'm gonna go to the gym. I want to start going in the morning because I'm starting to realize that she sleeps better when I'm aware of her night routine, and when I'm gone at the gym I just can't like control that. And I think it's better for us anyway, and I feel well rested enough to get the day going, so I think we might have a routine going. So I have an hour to get ready, so I plan to have a coffee, get ready, have a light snack, make rice so if my husband wakes up he's good, and then have a bottle ready in case she wakes up. So that's the plan. So usually in the morning I try to have two things. Well, first I drink water, and then I make a little greens powder in order to just jumpstart my digestion, just have some fiber first thing, get my gut lining primed for eating and just starting the day, waking up my digestion. So drink this first, and then I'll go in and have my morning coffee. It's just your regular Keurig pod. I'll show you which one. We have this one right now, so just going through this one, and then we'll pick up some more, but nothing exciting, just cream and sugar. So I usually have one in the morning, and then I'll have one in like the mid-evening, but I'm trying to cut that out so that I can get better sleep, and it's been working to not have any caffeine past a certain point. So it's a huge step for me. I'm a caffeine junkie, so I'm really trying to allow my body to learn how to fall asleep naturally at night and not depend on anything. So cheers to that. I also have a good hack for people who have a hard time drinking greens. Mine's tastes really good. I have no problem having it with water, but if I want something fun, I will put orange juice and mix that, and it seems to be really good. Back when I was pregnant, I used to do this a lot, and I even worked my way up to 20 minutes, but I like to start the morning by sitting here and just literally being in silence, and I'll time it because before it used to be really hard for me, and I started off doing 5 minutes, and I would go in like increments of 2 minutes every time I got through a week, and I stayed really consistent, and I really liked the way I felt. So when I have downtime to do that in the morning, I love to do that. It just lets me just like hang on for a sec and just be quiet, be still. Some may call it prayer, talking to God, meditating, whatever that form means to you. It's a very special thing for me, and I just like to make room for it if I am in the right place to do that. It doesn't always happen, but when it does, I can tell the difference in my day. So definitely give it a try, because we live in such a fast-paced world that sometimes a moment of silence is really like not a thing. And yeah, like I said, I found that every time I did it, my day was like 10 times better. Okay, you guys, I just wrapped up. It's 6:08, making great time. I told myself no more longer than 6:30. I need to be upstairs with my baby by 6:30 because my husband has to go to work, so he needs to have as much time to get ready. But I will say, I didn't know the vibes were this good in the morning. I might just become a reformed AM gym goer because the vibes
vibes are good. Another reason why I wanted to start working out in the morning is because sometimes I just don't see the sun from being home all day, and it's so depressing, honestly. It really messes with my mental because I just need to see the sun. I don't even care if it's not a sunny day. If I just can't see it with my eyeballs, it messes with me. I am an island girl, okay? I grew up in the Pacific. Like, I can't handle not seeing the sun. And right now it's been a little bit of an overcast weather lately, so at least in my side of the island, so that's not helping. And the sun doesn't hit my apartment at all if it's a gloomy day. So sometimes I feel like I'm in a dungeon and I don't like it. So we're coming up with solutions. So I think that time frame is working out for me. I spend a lot of time in my what is it called, warm up and my compound movements, and then whatever accessory can fit with the rest of the time I have, that's what I dedicate it to. But I feel like my compound movements are sufficient enough to target all the other areas. Like, I'm not concerned about building like a crazy upper back or any of that kind of stuff, so I'm not really worried about it. I'll dedicate that time when I have more time, but I like the vibes. I was pleasantly surprised. So I think on Friday I'll aim to work out in the morning again. So it's only 3 days a week on the weekdays, so I feel like that's so doable for me. Like, I know I'm not always going to be ready and prepared every single day to do it this time, but if I can help it, I would love that, because that sounds like a great idea.
What's going on? I'm here spicy burger. Let's go. We got it. Football going first. Beautiful meal.
It's been, I got home, what time did I get home? Oh, like 6:15, so it's 7:48 right now. Lila went down for a nap at 7:30. She won't be napping. Ideally, I'd love a good 2-hour nap for her, but it doesn't always happen. Sometimes it's just like an hour and a half. I could speak too soon and she could wake up again, so we don't know. But she just finished her bottle around 7:15, so I don't anticipate her being hungry again until 9:30. So I have downtime before that next feed, so I need to pump, because the last time we've fed at rest was at 4:30, give or take. So a lot of time has passed and my milk is ready to be pumped, and then I can build my bottles for tonight or tomorrow. So that's how my pumping schedule is. I only pump once a day and I get a good 4 ounces out of that, and that can go for the next feed for tomorrow, since I already have some for today. So I don't do any kind of pumping schedule that's crazy. I'll probably go to 2 pumps a day when I come back to work, because I'll be gone for a while, so I can pump right at work or right before I head home, like on my drive home. But enough of that chit chat. Yeah, I wanted to talk about which pump I use. This is the S12 Pro from Mom Cozy. My sister gave it to me. I wasn't planning on using a wearable pump. I had a Medela one that I know everybody says it's not the greatest, but I thought if I just got the right flange, I'd be fine. But she ended up giving this one to me, and then she also had a Spectra, but I don't really need it. I plan to 60% breastfeed and 40% bottle with pumped milk, so I just gave it back to her. So I'm really grateful that she had this though, because literally this is just so simple. I also have the Medela pump, the manual pump,
and I really like that too. And then I have the Haka for just a more mild expression. I use that a lot in the beginning when I was first learning how to pump, and it worked well for me because it wasn't so aggressive. I know people have thoughts about like it still being an active pumping like action or whatever, but to me it wasn't like too bad. It didn't completely disrupt my supply or any output issues, so I would just be careful with them because the suction really is strong. Like if you were to suction it on like a different part of your skin, it's pretty aggressive. So if you have sensitive, you know, skin, or your nipples are really going through it, like definitely be careful with those. I thankfully didn't have too many issues after a day or two. I was able to kind of like understand my body, so I just use these now once a day, and it's so simple. I really attribute what I've learned about breastfeeding and pumping from this creator named Nikki. She's on TikTok. I want to say her name is like the Baby Whisperer or something like that, but she's a lactation consultant and she's a nurse. She is amazing. If you have any breastfeeding questions, like I watched a lot of her content in the beginning, and that's what's helped me out. I've already raved about her on my TikTok, but definitely check her out if you are having any issues and you want some guidance. Obviously you can go to your local doctor or office and talk to whoever, but I think talking to a professional is the best use of your time, rather than comparing yourself to other people. Everyone has different experiences, so it's not like it's really hard to just go off of one person's experience. I only pump for 20 minutes. Sometimes it's more like 10 to 12 if I feel like it's done a good job at kind of getting all of my milk out, but I never really go past 20 minutes. In all honesty, I don't think it's needed. I feel like I'm a just enougher. What I was able to remove is kind of equivalent to what she takes, I think. Like obviously you can't really know for sure because they're, you know, breastfed, so you can't really tell how much they're getting, but I assume when she's not feeding on me, what I'm taking out is probably around the same amount. And I have learned that as she's getting older, my milk changes, so it becomes a more concentrated, more nutritional, more high, like it's just more, what's the word? It's more nutritious in the sense that it keeps her full longer because it's more dense in nutrients than before. So I know I won't be needing to produce so many ounces of milk because what I have is so concentrated as she gets older. And sometimes I forget that she's already 10 weeks old. She's not like 5 weeks old. Like even her wake windows, I'm always like, wow, she can really stay up a little bit longer than I remember. Because right now her wake windows are looking closer to 45 minutes to an hour and a half, hour and 45, almost 2 hours sometimes. So I'm just like, wow, like I just forget she's growing up. So I am aware that her wake times are gonna change and flow differently. So I really just go off of what she's doing. Another thing is, before I used to only do pure mom stuff from the moment I woke up until 2 p.m. But because her naps are a lot longer now, I am able to work on content, work on editing, work on emails, do a call. So it's been really, really nice to be able to do that because it's getting tougher to get things done when she used to only nap for like 30 minutes, and a lot of the longer naps were contact naps with me. So really grateful for that. And I'm really grateful that she's generally a pretty great sleeper. She's really independent in the sense that I don't have to always be in the same room with her. She's learning how to calm herself and, you know, put herself to sleep. She's never crying when I put her in her bassinet. I never put her in the bassinet while she's crying, or if she cries, I will check on her and assess why. I've always only put her down alone in her bassinet when she's relaxed, she's got a passy, she's just chilling, and then she falls asleep on her own. This kind of started, I honestly want to say, like around week 8 When she was 8 weeks old, that's when she started to learn to soothe herself. She would reach for her hand. She would use her binky a lot better. Before, she didn't really take it. Like, she never liked anything. I've tried different brands. But I do think it's because I just allowed her to find her rhythm. I never really pushed any method. I just paid attention to wake windows, and I also made sure that I was just learning her cues. When I would notice something, I would make a mental note and be like, I wonder if she's going to do that again. And then when I noticed that it happened repetitively, that's when I knew, okay, after I fed and changed and burped and we played, at this time she usually starts to feel a little tired, and then that's when I would naturally pick her up, we'd just cuddle a little bit, and then I would find that sweet spot where she's like starting to suckle a little bit, and that's when I knew I can put a binky on her and like set her down, and then she's usually fine. Would that not possibly change in the future? Probably, but right now it's working, so don't fix it if it's not broken. My method of motherhood is literally like less is more. I don't try to do so many things all at once. It's kind of like anything else that's new in your life. You do the thing, you collect data, you collect evidence, you look at, observation, and then you make changes. A lot of the times I feel like we're doing so many different things. We're trying to sleep train, we're trying to learn wake windows, we're trying to learn how to independent sleep, whatever. Like, there's just so many things we're trying to do all at once, and it's just like unnecessary sometimes. I feel like the best way to do it is to literally just observe your child. What are they doing? No information is the same for two babies. Like, and most of the time people are not there with you in your day-to-day, so how would they even know what you need in terms of advice? So I kind of just stopped looking too much at too much videos on certain topics, because I was just finding that it just didn't serve a purpose, because they're not in my world, I don't know the right terminology for everything, but I know that the heart is like, in the beginning, this is just what's gonna allow you to produce a letdown, so that I do that for like 5 to 7 minutes at first, and then I switch to the expression mode, the water drop mode, and I do that for the 15-12 minutes that I have left. And I just really, I'll put on something, I'll watch a few TikToks, and then I'm done. So I'll check back with you and we'll see how much I get. Okay, I just finished pumping. It's been 20 minutes. This was on my right side and this was on my left. So let's see how much we collected in total. Okay, so I got about 3 ounces, which is great for me because sometimes her feedings are just an ounce and a half, and then I breastfeed first and I'll give her a bottle after if I feel like she's still hungry. And then these are good for when I'm out running errands or something, and then I can bag them in 2 ounce increments. It's 9 o'clock. Lila's still sleeping, which is kind of nice. I just finished doing my makeup because I have to film another thing for my coaching business, but I didn't finish my script quite yet, and I'm kind of dreading filming this too because I already know I'm going to take a bunch of edits, but I know it's literally going to take me like 10 minutes if I just focus. So I'm just going to try to get this done, send it off, because the earlier I can send off these clips to my social media manager, she can start to pretty much pile it on together. So yeah, the goal is
be able to write my script for the second video, film, send it off, and then send B-roll, and then that will be my to-do list for this week. Like, I don't need to, anything else is pretty much a bonus, cherry on top if I get it done. But let's try to lock in and make sure I get this done, because then the next phase is going to be crafting basically my framework for my coaching business. So after I get all of the socials together and I understand how to promote, I'll be able to create my framework for my actual value that I'm providing, and then I can start setting up sales calls. Working on stuff, right? Don't mind this little seat. It's an old chair. But I'm working on stuff, right? And it's just got me so inspired by so many things. I was able to watch Creator Academy this morning. Benji was live. I was listening to it and it was just so fascinating because AI is here, we all know that, but at the pace and the rate that AI is just forming is literally insanity. And if you haven't heard of the app called Sora, it's just insane to me how much this industry, media, all of it is just going to be disrupted again. And I don't know, it's kind of like, not to be doom and gloom, but like if you aren't paying attention and you're not intentional with your use of social media in general, like it's some scary times, because it really wants a hold of your attention, of your mind. And it's like, if you are not intentional about what you consume, if you don't have control over your own time and how much you spend on certain things with no I guess purpose, it is really coming for you, because all these types of videos that it can create in seconds, it's fighting for people's attention. Like, they are joining the game and they're after people's jobs, people who create content. They're after, you know, industries like film and camera equipment, because people don't need that if they want to create content. All they need is the tool, which is some sort of device that has it, and that's all it needs. Like, it's some crazy times. Just listening to it and being in tune with it, like, all I can say is this is why I think building skill sets is so important, and then pouring into yourself, into your own education, thinking and like learning and connecting and forming relationships with people that know more than you. It's all so important in these times, because if you don't grab attention of up here and where your time goes, oh boy, do the media know how to grab a hold of yours. So it's insane. It is 2:25 currently. Lila is attempting to go to nap, but it's not working out. Her wake time has been a little bit sporadic this past evening, so I'm kind of getting back on schedule if I can, but I plan to give her a bath at 4, so if she doesn't want to sleep, I'm just going to keep her up and then we'll try again. But currently editing today's vlog. I did a couple things before this, and hopefully we can get what we need to get done. I did film what I needed to film today, so that was a win. And so the next win on my list is literally just to get this vlog done, and then we can just cruise all day. Okay guys, it is 12:02. Vlog went up in the nick of time. I think it was like 11:59 when it was done processing. We will try to be better at uploading early, but we're holding on strong. It is day 9. Your girl is making it happen. I'm super proud of myself for staying consistent, and I'm learning a lot. I'm refining my videos, and things are going really well. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna clean up. I just had drank my chamomile tea, I feel relaxed, I feel accomplished, and now I'm ready to go to bed. So I hope you guys all had a good day, and I will see you in the next vlog. Good night.